this afternoon when they made the park. For the third week in a row, the Cats were outstanding. Gary Adelaide booted 8 as the Cats stormed to an 82-point victory. Drew Morford has the highlights.
Adelaide, having passed the century last week, just went out to play today, and how he played.
The master starts work early.
It was a shootout between the two full forwards. Jason Dunstall at the other end matched Adelaide for goals in the first quarter.
Dunstall comes on the lead. Great footy.
They both had 3 goals to quarter time in a magnificent show. But the prime mover for the Cats' 15-point lead was Gary Hocking, who continued his great form. In the second quarter, the Hawks had just 1 scoring shot, but it was Jarman.
And he can kick these.
The Cats kicked another 6, Adelaide having a field day on Langford.
Sharp angle. Runs around, pulls it back. Guess what?
Hocking gathered 22 possessions to half-time as Geelong tore their way to a 50-point lead. Barry Stoneham proved Geelong could have won with one hand tied. Adelaide kicked his 700th career goal on his way to a game haul of 8.
He's got it.
Dunstall kicked 5 for 98 for the season. But the Cats kicked the last 7 goals of the game, beating the Hawks at Cardinia Park for the first time since 1984. Drew Morford, 7 Nightly News.
And while the Cats are still in the race, so too is Collingwood, who produced a sensational second half to snatch a 12-point victory over St Kilda at Waverley Park. The Pies' finals hopes were in tatters at half-time, but they answered the challenge to kick 7 goals to 1 after the interval to win. In a surprising move, Damien Moncourt started on the bench for the Pies as David Grant sparked the Saints in the opening minute. Winmar was just as inspirational, and it wasn't until late in the first term that Rocker kicked Collingwood's first. Running into a stiff breeze, the Magpies did well to trail by just a point at the first change, and Lehman was making the most of his opportunities. But with the assistance of the wind in the second quarter, the Pies self-destructed, and Winmar's brilliance was on show for all.
That is just classical stuff.
Alan Richardson then targeted Stewie Lowe, and Everett launched a bomb from 50 to extend the Satyrs' lead. A 6-goal second turned to Collingwood's 1-goal 4, and St Kilda led by 29 points at half-time. And that blew out to 35 points early in the third term, but then came the Collingwood revival. McGuan lifted, and soon after kicking a goal, Christian was stretchered off as a result of this collision with Kane Taylor. The Pies were playing for survival, and Rocker's third made the difference 21 points. And that momentum carried into the final term.
Measures it, goes and kicks it.
Williams then marked in goal to put the Woods ahead by 3 points. And McGuan's first of the day was the sealer for the Magpies in what was a truly remarkable performance. Carlton skipper Stephen Kernahan spearheaded his team's 23-point win over Richmond at the MCG. Despite missing the past 3 weeks with a knee injury, Kernahan showed his class by booting 7 goals. The bad news for the Blues are the injuries to Greg Williams and Peter Dean. In a thriller at Princes Park, Fitzroy upset Adelaide despite Crows spearhead Tony Modra becoming the second player to reach 100 goals for the season. In losing by 5 points, the Crows slipped out of the 6. Modra kicked 7 while Alistair Lynch got 6 for the winners. Dion Heyman reports.
Alistair Lynch proved a thorn in the Crows' side in the first quarter. 3 goals in 13 minutes forced Graham Corns to make a move. And when Lynch made it 4 soon after, the Crows were clearly frustrated. Tony Modra's 99th goal for the season showed plenty of class, but Fitzroy stretched its lead to 22 points early in the second through Armstrong before Adelaide hauled itself back. Jarman's deft handball set up Rashudo, then Modra's ton heralded an invasion.
Goal number 100 for the season. He kicks. I think he's got it. Well done, Anthony Modra. Great effort by the champion full forward.
It was goal for goal to the half. Mark Bickley put the Crows in front, but Lynch's 5th goal restored the lead for the Lions. More of the same in the third quarter. Fitzroy crept to a 9-point lead, but Modra proved the Lion tamer with 2 more spectacular marks and goals. A late goal to Godr reduced the Lions' deficit to just 5 points, and they kicked 3 goals clear in the last quarter through Dundas, Armstrong and Dunstan. The Crows came again in the dying minutes and threatened to steal another one from the Lions, but it was too late this time. Adelaide struck down again by a lethal dose of travel sickness. Dion Heyman, 7 Nightly News.
To the ladder, and look how tight it is. The Bombers are now on top, followed by Carlton, North, Hawthorn, who slipped from top. Then the Eagles and Pies. Geelong is knocking on the door. And in the VFL,